We're going to go to South Korea now to hear about a network of flourishing vulture restaurants. Now, let me be clear. I am not talking about restaurants where humans are served a delicacy made from vulture meat. These are actually sanctuaries for Eurasian black vultures that have been designated as an endangered species in South Korea. And during the winter, they migrate about 3,000 kilometers to Korea from Mongolia and northern China in search for food. And local volunteers have set up a network of sanctuary restaurants for the vultures where they're provided with fresh meat. Nemo Kim is a South Korean journalist based in Seoul and a regular contributor to this program, and she's recently visited one such vulture restaurant and joins me now on the line. What was it like?
Hi, Krupa. The vulture restaurants are seasonal feeding sites. They're on rice fields or along wetland edges, and local volunteers put out meat. So wintering cinereous vultures can find food. And these vultures, contrary to popular belief, don't hunt, and they live on carrion, the meat of dead animals. But development and modern farming practices in Korea mean there's not enough for them to scavenge here. And research tracking them shows adult vultures tend to remain in Mongolia while the juvenile ones come and winter on the Korean peninsula. And you can imagine how exhausted and hungry they must be after they arrive. And there are around a dozen feeding sites across the country. And what's striking is that most of them are grassroots, with the earliest ones going back to the mid-2000s. And they began when locals started finding emaciated vultures and realized that they need help to survive the winter in South Korea.
I'm so surprised that vultures don't hunt for their own meat. You're absolutely right. That is contrary to popular belief. And also, as I understand it, they don't make much noise. You did record sound of one of the visitors feeding vultures at the restaurants, however. Let's take a listen.
우리 11시에 먹자 그랬나 봐 오늘. 저기. 저기도 오고. 어유. 안녕. 반갑다.
Give us a sense of what we are hearing there, what's being said.
Right. Just after the feeding, one of the vultures lifted off and glided straight over the guy's head. And what you heard is the guy saying, "Hello, good to have you here." And even though the vultures are enormous, their wingspans reach about 2 meters. As you said, their calls are surprisingly thin and squeaky, so you may not have caught much of the actual sound on the recording. Up close, what struck many people, including myself, wasn't just the scale of their bodies, but their faces. Despite their size, they have remarkably kind, almost childlike eyes. And I spoke to the visitor who we heard from afterwards, and he told me that he's not really a bird person, but that coming to the site made him want to take more of an interest. And in that sense, I think these stations aren't just keeping the birds alive, but they're kind of quietly educating the people too.
Let's hear that clip then.
몽골에서 오는 새인데 우리가 볼 적에는 손님이에요. 그냥 굶기
They come from Mongolia, and to us, they are guests. We can't let guests starve. Some die because they can't find food here, so we do whatever we can to give them proper meals. They're juveniles, risking their lives to get here. We have to take care of them and send them back strong. As a mother, I think it's wrong to have children go hungry.
So that was, in fact, another volunteer. But it does beg the question, why do people want to do this? And I'm so surprised by the language being used. Their childlike eyes. They don't want children to go hungry. What are you hearing? Are these just generally bird lovers?
No, not really. I spoke to each of the volunteers, and one was a working farmer. He farms rice, and he found starving vultures on his land several times, and that made him take an interest. The organizer himself is an after-school academy owner, and there were several amateur photographers who first came to just simply take nice photos, and most of them didn't actually start out as bird lovers, but they told me that seeing the birds suffer in the community made them take an interest. And the group's leader, Mr. Yoon Do-hyang, he put it like this. He said the vultures are starving because people have broken their promise to live along nature. And he said what they're trying to do is their way of trying to keep that kind of promise again.
Really, really interesting. Thank you so much, Nemo Kim, South Korean journalist based in Seoul, for us. A very enlightening conversation there.